If there was one thing about the world, if you could change one thing about the world.
If you could change one thing about the world.
If you could change one thing about the world.
If you could change one thing about the world.
If you could change one thing about the world, what would it be?
Patience. It just seems like everyone's in a rush right now, and it seems to cause more issues than help. So I always think patience is one thing that's kind of got away from us. I think more generosity to people and a lot more. I don't know. It just seems like I think we would be better off if we had more patience distilled on everyone.
If I could change one thing about the world, I think that it would be people having empathy for each other and that not being like frowned on as like being weak.
I would want people to be more optimistic.
True.
I think that they're closed-minded and judgmental very fast. And I think it's okay to be judgmental, but you have to balance out the judginess with kindness.
Society. People are just mean now. Like, they think of their self more than like how what they say affects others.
I like it. How about you?
I agree with her.
Society?
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
I guess like the ability to like kind of come together as a whole.
I feel kind of like with that, but more of inner kind of thing. I feel just like generally corrupt people in positions of power, not just nowadays, but forever. It's like, it's always been a problem, and I feel if it was just gone from the world, we'd be a far better civilization in general.
Get rid of the current president that we have.
Get rid of the current president. Do you have anything to elaborate on that? Or not really?
No.
Thank you.
I'd say peace and kindness.
Diet, because it really impacts a lot of people, like the way of eating fast food and eating healthy. And once they start realizing, there'll be more movement. You can say they won't be stuck, at home and being lazy.
Yeah.
Economy, it would be fine. It would be like a equal economy for every country, not just Europe or North America. It's the same as Africa and Latin America. That would be good.
Greed, because money rules the world, and because of it, people just want to do anything possible to get it, including laws. Like, they know, especially companies, they know what's wrong, and they do what's wrong just to get the most of the money. So definitely more empathy, compassion. Companies and politicians and world leaders would definitely strive to the rights, morality towards it. They would not think about the profit. They would probably risk losing money to do the right thing. I think that's how it would go. Just overall more happiness, people like not thinking about the profits on what their choices are. So that's what I think.
Money. I wouldn't do money. I know that's a really ignorant answer, but if we could peacefully have a way with no money, that's what I would do.
I wish money wasn't a thing, to be real. I think too many people put prices on things and it changes everyone's perspective.
What do you think like the trade would be?
Ooh, just kindness. I don't know. I think people just value money too much, and it's become the center of everyone's happiness, but that's not really the purpose of the world, in my opinion.
Make billionaires illegal. That's probably it.
I feel like the top 1% shouldn't have that much money, and that they should do more donations to other people, especially third world countries. That shouldn't be a thing. The top 1% should not just be oh, I have this much money and that's it. They shouldn't just care about how much they have. They should start giving back.
If I had to say, I guess the first thing that comes to my mind is the wealth gap. So stopping the 1% who has all the money, making it more equitable.
Probably. That's a hard question.
Big one.
Oh, you know what? How expensive everything is. Because I was trying to think how separate everybody is living in different countries and stuff. And I was well, it's expensive to travel, so less expensive. Yeah. Everything less expensive. Yeah. Is what I would do.
I feel like we need more opportunities for music to be a part of young people's lives, specifically live music. I'm a musician and composer, so I and like have a huge importance of like music in my life. And I think that like people don't often get that experience at a young age of like going to concerts, getting to like see somebody kind of expressing themselves artistically through like their instrument. I think that was like a huge impact on me. It had a huge impact on me as a kid, and I think everyone should have that experience. So if I could change one thing about the world, it'd be like giving more opportunities for young people to be exposed to like music and art.
You know what? Since we're in marching band, what if everyone knew music? That's a good one.
Yeah, music education worldwide.
That would be a good. That's
doesn't really matter. Just some musical capacity or some form of art, I guess.
Honestly, I think like ruling the world with communism would be a good option.
Communist way.
I would just make everyone have the same job, and that would be, I don't know, the porn industry.
Wait, what'd you say?
The porn industry.
The porn
Everyone have the
industry.
same job, and
Gotcha.
we all make money. And
Okay.
then, I don't know, economics would go straight to shit, but still.
And
That's
we're
heavy.
and this is too dark right now. we got some news.
We just got news that our siblings were in an attempted school shooting like a few minutes ago. So we wish that didn't exist. Yeah.
I would change some gun laws.
Gun control laws.
Yeah. There is a measure right now though. So hopefully, I'm gonna try to get that passed.
Peace and happiness for every human being on the planet. I just want people to be happy. So, I mean, there's a lot to that, right? It could be economics, it could be relationships, it could be a lot of things. So, to achieve that, it takes a lot of different things. So that means people have a lot of work to do.
I'm not going to say world peace because it's too unrealistic. It's ridiculous. Like, there's always going to be some sort of fight somewhere. And we would be robots if that wasn't true.
The way everybody is treated.
Yeah, sexual violence is a big one for me.
Well, everybody needs to actually be treated equal instead of like everybody fighting.
Well, not necessarily equal. I'd say equity instead of equality. I don't want equality, I want equity. Because otherwise, prices would go up on everything if we were looking for equality. And like feminine products, they're expensive crap. That's annoying. Equity would be more giving people what they need and lowering prices on stuff too. Because there's a lot of homeless people these days.
Maybe just stop all the bad shit from happening to kids.
World peace.
World peace?
So we'll change all the things that aren't peace and turn them into peace.
Yeah. Yeah, ending racism.
Yeah.
Fuck, it's like, what, 2022? Come on.
Should be there by now.
Yeah.
Probably have people more kind to each other.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say less hate, more love. Yeah.
Just like less prejudice.
Okay.
I guess kindness within people. Yeah, just have everyone be kind. You know, we wouldn't have to worry about anything like with police and stuff like that. Just have everyone do their part and be kind, maybe. Yeah.
People's expectations for everyone to do the same path.
Stereotypes. I don't like how they like gender stereotypes, like you should do this, like girls should only do this and guys should only do that. That's kind of stupid in my opinion.
I really have no idea. That's such a huge.
Yeah, that's all right.
It's a huge concept. I'd get rid of student loan debt. I'd make college free. Yeah. Either that or like universal health care would be. I mean, that's already a huge thing in a lot of the world though. So probably student loan debt. Get rid of student loan debt.
Probably more daylight. Just more daylight generally.
Housing was the first thing that came to my head, but I always just think about like affordable housing, but also like walkability of housing to grocery stores and entertainment.
There exist more empty houses in the U.S. than exist houseless people. So I don't know if that's worldwide, but in the U.S. that's true at least. So yeah.
Well, and especially like with the rise of Airbnbs and stuff, like that's a thing that people talk about a lot, is the fact that like we have so many empty places that we're just waiting to be rented on weekends, but they're open all these other times that they could be housing
Maybe
for
corporate
people.
home ownership, make that go away. Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. Have a beautiful day.
I couldn't change just one thing. Well, oh, actually, yes. I would like there to be an international mass socialist movement. I'd like there to be socialist parties in every country around the world. That's what I would like. A new international. For a new international, the SPUSA or the SPD from the late 19th, early 20th century, or the RSLDP from the same period. But yeah, it's Debs, Lenin, Luxembourg.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you very much.
Rebirth of the left.
There's no hate.
Yeah, probably same. Because there have too many haters in this world right now. Like currently, people hate
I think that's
everything.
like the main issue of the world. That's why like people are like fighting each other. Everything. Every bad thing that's going on is because the root is hate, right? So I hope there's no hate. Like hate means a lot, like from different classes, right, and different races and that kind of thing. Like there's no hate in between those difference.
Oh man. Okay. There's like too many micro things. I think like on a macro level, just like the opposite of ignorance, like whatever, like education or like opening. I don't even know how to make that like an actionable thing, but just like I wish people were more open to learning and more open to understanding like other people's experiences. Like I don't know, I think like a microcosm would be like a liberal college campus, like I think is a great example of like people just like constantly being able to share their experiences and people understanding and coming out from a different perspective.
Racism.
Racism?
The hate.
Yeah?
Yeah. Systemic racism. Racism is in everything we do. It's an education system, housing, food scarcities because of racism. Pretty much every problem you can think about comes from racism. So, like, anti-blackness is everywhere. Yeah. We're both Latina and Colorism. Yeah. It's huge in Latin America. Mm-hmm.
I'd probably go with probably racism. I think it'd solve a lot of problems. We wouldn't be in a lot of the situations that we're currently in if people stopped being so damn racist.
I think if I could change like one thing, I definitely want to change like our understanding of modern medicine, both like psychological and physical, so we could have like a better understanding of how to help people. I think that would be it would fix a lot of other issues too.
Unnecessary violence, which is most violence to me. I think there are better ways to do things.
I think that school lunch should be free everywhere. Hey, that's all I want to change.
I think Kendrick Lamar should teach a college class about race and social justice.
Maybe the way people treat each other.
The people and their mindsets, I feel like everyone's negative in like the world. The positivity needs to spread more, and I don't know, everyone's just got to be more happy than they are now.
Possibly how much the schools, or not the school, everybody's focused on like looks and appearance-wise. I wish everybody like wouldn't judge people or make people like feel less about themselves because of how they look.
At the moment, maybe just passing grades, everyone passed. I think that people just don't, as much as they say they care about our mental health, they really don't. Yeah. So when it comes down to like, if you're too tired or like if you just can't bring yourself to do homework, they don't really care. And you're not getting the proper education because they just want you to have the grade and not the education.
About the world, have nicer people.
Nicer people?
Yeah.
Okay.
Take away some of the negativity. Oh, how divided we are based on opinion.
I just wish the world was like a more trusting place, but I just wish people were better in general. So I just want to get rid of all the bad.
Yeah.
But like I would just want more people to treat each other with like love and kindness.
I would say like the government.
Government? Okay.
Yeah, I would choose the government. I don't know, I just feel like there's so much disagreements. Everybody's like agree on, there's like a red and blue side, right? It'd be cool to just have everybody together as one, instead of like, China has their own government or this has their own government, just like everybody on the same page. World peace.
I'd stop colonialism. Probably give land back to indigenous people, wherever it may be in the United States or South Africa.
everybody would fall in love.
Nice, I like that one. Thank you.
That's not.
Some people's personalities, maybe.
Okay.
But that's really all I can think of. Like being too authoritative.
I don't know. I guess free higher education.
I would say just have people get along better, honestly. I think people, we get too caught up in little things and argue about it.
Yeah.
People treat each other nicely. That's what I'll change.
It would be for people to take responsibility for themselves and love one another.
I feel like I would make people more empathetic, because then that would solve a lot of other problems. If people actually cared about each other, poverty would probably be less of a problem. Hunger would probably be less of a problem, and our environment would probably be less of a problem.
One thing that could change would probably be the inequality of the world. I feel like there's so many things that could be changed, especially I feel like I'm a POC, so I feel like there's a lot of things that are against me, especially just like I'm a film student, so there's a lot of barriers that I feel like I have to break in order to like make my work actually matter. So I feel like there's inequality around like anywhere, university, the country, anywhere at all.
Yeah, I feel like I guess the main thing I would change is just like I would put in place a lot of policy that would protect the climate. I feel like that's kind of like the main time limited issue that we have. If I was like ruler of the world, right now, if I was fascist dictator of the world, I would make everyone like recycle and shit. It would be so evil of me.
That people care for each other by listening to each other and sharing ideas, talking to each other.
What do you think this would look like on a societal base?
Cut on the social media and the internet, like just talk to people. In the past, I mean, I'm much older than you, but in departments we used to have coffee stations, water fountains, how everybody carried their own cup and not talk to anybody. We only send emails. And then the environment, nature. I mean, definitely we need to all take care of nature because this is the world we live in, right?
Actually, probably climate change. Everything else is pretty irrelevant. If we don't change that, we'll die.
I'd say climate change and making sure everyone has what they need.
Probably try to change, I mean, if possible, climate change.
Climate change?
Probably littering. Like, send more people out to do something about it, like clean up. Because I feel like little people actually try to clean up, and most of them don't care. So, I don't know, maybe send more people out.
I would say humans. Just kill them all, let nature go back into their natural ways.
Yes, replace them with animals.
Yeah.
Or titans.
Titans.
Yeah.
Would be really cool.
You should think. Yeah.
Oh, I'd get rid of the people.
Come from a place of grace, assuming people have good intentions, not coming from a place of assuming the worst in humanity.
Okay. Get rid of people?
I mean, I like her answer. Can I go with that?
Maybe like how we went from like just like people who just like graze the earth to like what it is now, if that makes sense, with like society and stuff.
Guess I would stop global warming.
That'd probably be the same one too.
I think right now, like, the biggest issue in the future is going to be like water supply and food shortage. So, like, world hunger and the shortage of water is probably the biggest issue that if I had some magic wand, I would try to reverse.
Probably the environment. Because with like the rate of global climate change and everything, it's making poverty-stricken countries more impoverished, and it's like, I don't know, it's just like destroying everything except for rich people, which, yeah. So
Probably like the amount of waste that goes off into the ocean and stuff. Just protecting animals from the ocean. I'm a big ocean guy, so probably the ocean, just saving the ocean. Yep. There's a lot of creatures and stuff. It also kind of it affects other stuff too. You know, like the ocean kind of makes the world go around, I guess. So I'd say limiting trash in the ocean and stuff. That'd probably be the main thing.
I guess just like people littering on the beaches and stuff. But I don't really know how you could solve that. Like machine, like I don't know. You know, like machines get out there like in each beach, but that'd be a lot of. That kind of be a lot though.
The way that we handle climate, for sure. Yeah. I mean, we really need to get on it. It's so much worse than we think. Like, I keep thinking about, like, I swear I was in, like, elementary school or, like, middle school, and we used to talk about, like, oh my god, like, you know, we're running out of water, and this is, like, a really serious thing. That's still happening. We just don't talk about it anymore. Yeah. I'm like, bro, like, this shouldn't be a trend. It should just be a thing that we're doing. It drives me nuts. Anyway, get corporate out of frickin' politics is what I say about that, but, yeah.
I mean, I guess, like, yeah, making sure that everyone has food. That would probably be the biggest thing that I would change. If there's anything I could change, like, right now, I think that would be, like, the thing that I would want to change the most.
It would probably be hunger, enough food and water for everybody, healthy food and water.
And, like, world starvation. It's probably the best one. Yeah.
Maybe clean up the world a little bit, stop littering so much.
Or maybe make it, like, ethically possible that we're like all the same in some way, like not like some like Nazi genocidal shit, but like if just a snap of a finger we can make it so we all have the same like culture and identity, so it'd be easier for us to like work together as a like species.
I wish I could change that there are people out there without houses. That's many things we need to change to get there, but I wish I could change that. I would see less people living in giant houses and more people just living with the basic like needs that they need and being able to enjoy life. I see people like my own mother being able to have good mental health treatments, and I would see a lot less suffering on my daily basis.
Well, I guess homelessness is one thing. That's definitely something that's, I guess, generic and cliche, but if everybody was able to have housing, it'd be a lot easier for those people to get jobs too. And I think unless the basic needs is to have a shelter, and if you can't have a house where you can clean your clothes, where you can wash yourself or do anything, you can't get a job. Once everybody has housing, then it's not really an easy fix, but it's something that could help in the future.
Homelessness. Honestly, I feel like the world, or the higher up people don't really do nothing about homeless people. They don't really care. They kind of just brush them off to the side. A lot of people that have money, they investing money into companies and other stuff like that, but aren't really paying attention to what's actually happening to the society.
If I had the ability to do so, I would probably make it to where kind of get rid of like change everyone's mind, like thinking, so that like people wouldn't have such like any ingrained racism in them. So like get past that, so we can start looking at things that are actually affecting you. Because if people get past that and stop having that type of mentality inside their brain, they can see like, dang, maybe there is a problem because this is the way we were thinking. And then it changed a lot of different systems in our world for people of color and just everyone in general. And everyone would be just a little bit happier. That's what I think.
But I think finding a way to like kind of normalize being kind and just starting a conversation with someone, you know, because a lot of people, including myself, very judgmental from the get-go, you know, like I was like, oh, this is like some random stranger guy. I was like, I just want to get and go, but I'm like, you know, I'm actually enjoying this now. So it's like, I think if we can be able to change the first like thought in our minds where like it's very judgmental to where it's like, you know, this is a human being and I'm willing to like, talk to him, you know, like I feel like that would be like having a kinder mindset on people.
I think like having people be more open to other people's opinions, because I know that sometimes like people just get so closed off to their own opinions that everything that other people say is just wrong. But I think like just being open to hearing them and just being open to listen to other people's opinions.
I've actually been trying to fix that. Just, I mean, it's kind of hard of a concept to grasp, but like be happier, you know, and like just be like, try to see the positives in everything. I mean, I struggle with that. I'm kind of a hypocrite of it, but I'm also trying to learn from it. So like, I just think like just having a positive and like smiling with someone, like even like doing a good deed, like holding the door for someone makes you happier, makes that person happier, and then making the other person like doing deeds for someone else makes you happy. So I just feel like that would definitely help.
I would even say as well as like put yourself in the other person's shoe before you like, just imagine like, dang, how would I want to be treated if I was that other person? Like, I think thinking that a lot, like being able to like put yourself in another person's position allows you to like have more empathy for like what they're doing or what position they're in. Because like, if I'm going to someone that's sitting by themselves, I'm like, dang, they look like a loser. It's like, well, what if they're like not feeling well? Like, it's like when we immediately think, oh, this person doesn't have any friends or blah 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 stuff like that, already putting a negative connotation when they could be having a horrible time right now, or they could be having the best time in the world just sitting by themselves. But the first thing we're thinking is to try and make fun of them and stuff like that. And it's all in good fun sometimes, but like at the same time, like we also have to think about like other people are also thinking that same thing, and then if everyone's thinking that same thing and that person actually needs some help or something like that, you're just attaching something negative to that when it really doesn't have to be. So I just say like putting ourselves in other people's shoes so we can like try and understand where they're coming from.
The love for animals. Yeah, that's it for me.
So like make people love animals more?
Exactly, yeah, and care for them and treat them better like
Yeah.
they do right now. That's it for me.
I would also like to add corruption. People,
Yeah.
honesty is something people should more have it. As long as people are honest and true to themselves, everybody can achieve a lot of things, including the humanity and everything. So that's kind of we are missing right now. So I would like to have people more love for everybody and honesty. That's one thing.
Change one thing about the world. That's actually what we're talking about, is God's kingdom, being able to fix all the problems permanently. So God's kingdom actually promises to change the governmental arrangement, because all the different human governments have tried, right, in all the different parts of the world, and they're all based on the same limitations, right? Someone gets a good idea, they do something well for a while, and then someone else comes in and replaces them and sometimes undoes all the good that they did, right? So it's proven that humans aren't really made to design and manage the world by themselves. They need more support, someone that's not bound by their limitations. So that's what we're talking to people about, God's kingdom actually doing that, replacing all the governments around the world at his time and fixing the problems instead of a bandage to the problems.
If I could change anything in the world, it would be the mentality of people. For the reason that there's like, everybody has their own mentality, and like in the world, we're stuck to one mentality, and we don't see beyond that. There's something greater than just this world.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, if we're talking about me and you, we're talking about the Lord Jesus Christ. There's more to that, and nobody really understands it. Not a lot of people can understand, and not because the media doesn't cover that, or the people. We lack of that. And if I were to change that, it would be to open up their mentality, open up a little bit more, and kind of share about that.
Yeah.
Because what my life was, so how I became a believer in Christ, because I was myself. I was a drug addict. I was lost in drugs, and my only salvation out of there was praying and asking God to deliver me. And one night he took me out from drugs, from alcohol, from smoking, all the bad things that I was doing that wasn't helping me at all. He changed it for me. So that for me is like, that's what I would change for people. So
Probably the use of drugs. I think drugs have the biggest impact globally, at least economically, mentally, and I don't know. It just affects everyone. If it was possible, I would like hit the delete button. I guess. That's just my opinion, honestly. I think drugs are really bad.
You like every drug, like prescription drugs, like all that type of stuff?
Like, as long as it's used for the right purpose, for like medication, it's okay. But like people who abuse drugs, and also like it's becoming very popular with teenagers nowadays. Like I know a lot of my friends do that type of stuff. And I don't know. I would never do it, but I guess it's really their choice. But I would just, if it were up to me, I would get rid of drugs.
equality. I somehow I felt that it is missing because we know the war happened in Ukraine, and other than that, I could see a lot of the same thing happening everywhere. It is not war, but somewhere similar is happening everywhere, irrespective of being in US or India or anywhere. So that's what I am thinking. Somehow it is not happening properly. That's what I felt. A lot of things are there. If you want to correct it, I have to start it from my end. Personally, in India there's a saying, if you want to see the change, then the change has to start from yourself. So if we do that, then it may change the world. That is one thing. Second thing is, if you think what do you want to change means, there is plenty of things, starting from politics, and it's tons are there. So it is not simply, we cannot describe. That's what I'm thinking.
Dumb people on the internet, like who?
There's guys. You just have to be smarter than what you are to get on the internet. There's got to be some kind of way to access the internet, and then I don't care, but just the dumbest of the dumb can get on the internet, do whatever they do and say. So there's got to be some kind of way to get on the internet and not be so stupid.
There you go. That's fine. Change who has access to the internet. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. I have a running joke with my girlfriend and family that I'm going to run for political office. I'm not. But the premise would be that it would be a very advanced driver's test. And it's like common sense, like live action with VR, you got to pass like common sense situations, and that I feel like would eliminate a lot of the problems I face on the road. That's my answer.
There's a lot of dumb drivers out there.
Yeah.
A lot of dumb drivers and a lot of dumb people surfing the internet.
And they're probably one and the same.
And if you're dumb and you're on the internet and you're offended, good.
Thank you guys. You have a good day.